The woman opened her eyes and was so frightened that she jumped up, clinging tightly to the rope, with only one rope keeping her alive. She tried to call for help from the man in the basket, but there was no response. She could only save herself. She began swinging her legs, making her body sway like a pendulum. At the moment she got close to the basket, she kicked hard with both feet to increase her momentum. When she swung close again, she finally reached the basket's edge. After adjusting her position, she flipped herself inside. Without even catching her breath, she quickly crawled toward her companion and tried to wake him. But when she got close and listened, she felt something was wrong. Just when she was about to despair, the man woke up. It turned out he had only been temporarily unconscious. He saw the girl's hands covered in injuries and noticed the hot air balloon was descending. He understood that she had climbed to the top of the balloon and opened the valve. The two survivors were resting, but soon the woman noticed that the snowflakes, which should have been falling down, were now still in the air. She instantly realized the snow wasn't the problem. The balloon was falling too fast. They began throwing things out: sandbags, ropes, anything they could find, whether useful or not. In the end, even their coats were thrown away. But the balloon didn't slow down at all, and the basket was now empty. Seeing they were about to crash, the woman climbed onto the circular frame, and the man followed with a knife, cutting the ropes that held the basket. Luckily, the knife was sharp enough, and the ropes were cut one by one. In the end, only two remained. As the ground drew closer, the man became more anxious and almost slipped and fell. The woman never expected that the bookish man, who usually seemed so timid, would be so steady in a life or death moment. When the last rope was cut, the balloon's speed finally slowed. But the experienced woman knew it still wasn't enough. The speed was too fast, and from this height, they could never survive. Under the man's shocked gaze, she stepped onto the iron ring. She was ready to sacrifice herself to give him a chance to live. The man almost broke down, begging her to stop, but he couldn't stop her. At that moment, he looked at the balloon and suddenly had an idea. Without explaining, he shouted that he had a way. Before the woman understood, he grabbed a thinner rope and cut it with one slash. The hot air balloon instantly turned into a parachute, slowly floating down. The two, who had almost died, were overwhelmed with relief. But before they could celebrate, a new problem appeared. This time, they didn't panic. Holding each other's hands, they glided toward the forest. With the trees cushioning their landing, neither was seriously hurt. They supported each other and walked home together.